Hey guys, I got a problem with one of my engines. The new one. Okay, now this is what's happening to this thing. And it's just started happening within the past 2 weeks. For some reason, well, it only happens to me. It doesn't happen to Allie, but I think it's because I get real aggressive on this thing and I drive the hell out of it. But what's happening is that once I start it, turn the thing on and start it, I can drive it around for a few minutes, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, something like that, and the engine starts to cop out on me. It starts to just, it starts putting, and then it dies. I'll get off, I've checked, I checked the fuel, and the fuel's still, still half full, and maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, then I can start it back up and it starts working just fine. Now, at first, I thought it might be the bowl, the float in the bowl not raising high enough to allow enough fuel into the bowl, so I'm running out of gas. That's essentially what I think was happening. So I took the bowl off and looked at the float, and the float seems to go up high enough. I took the float out, took the pin out, and it's set up a little different than what the other Harbor Freight engines were set up as. These floats now have, you've got the little plastic float, and then you've got the pin, and then the needle has a spring on it. So there's not really any adjustment that I can really do without, getting some real tiny clippers and getting in there and cutting that spring. But looking at how high the bowl goes, it should be able to fill, or how high the float goes, it should be able to fill the bowl completely. Well, so I put it all back together and then went out and tested it again, and it did the exact same thing to me. I drive it around and rip around with it for about 3 or 4 minutes, and all of a sudden the engine would start to cop out and it would die. So I'm not really too sure what's wrong with this thing. I was thinking that maybe what's happening is that while I'm driving it around, the vacuum hose is not allowing air into the tank fast enough, because this cap here seals really well, and then it's got this secondary air intake for the tank. So I'm wondering if maybe the tank is allowing the fuel out but not allowing enough air in, and it's causing a vacuum inside the tank itself, causing the fuel to flow slower. And then once it cops out and dies and it runs out of fuel in the bowl, then there's still air coming into the tank, and then it pressurizes, and then I can start it back up again in 2 minutes or whatever. So I'm not really too sure what is going on here. Let me take off the bowl here, and I'll take the float out, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, well, you see the bowl is clean, and this is how the float is. It's got the little spring on it, and there's no fluid inside the float, so that's not messed up, causing any alteration. So its properties should still keep working. See what I mean? How it's got the spring? Yeah. Boing, boing. But, yeah. Okay, now, what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn on the fuel, and we're going to see it drip out to see if it stops it all. it should be flowing more than that, shouldn't it? It shouldn't be a drip, it should be flowing out, right? You mess with this. I don't know if you guys can hear the dripping. Kind of hold the camera in a way that you guys will be able to see me turn this thing on and off. The fuel is all the way on. Seems like it flows a little better if I have it 3/4 or 1/4 off. Okay, it's all the way on now. That fuel should be flowing more than that, shouldn't it? There's something wrong with my fuel line, which is causing the go-kart to run out of gas. It should be flowing a lot more than that, right? Okay, I think so. I'm pretty sure. At the rate of speed that I'm driving around on, if that little drip right there is going to dictate what fills up the bowl fast enough for the engine to consume it, that's not enough. Well, I'll let you guys help me out here, because this is something new to me. Normally it's always a carburetor clean, but this doesn't look like this is that's the problem in this case. All the way on. Yeah, you guys tell me, what do you think it is? I think it's my fuel line for some reason is clogged somewhere. Okay, now for curiosity's sake, because I know a bunch of you guys are going to ask me about it, let's see, where's that thing at? Put the camera right underneath it. Where's the, there it is. Zoom in a little bit. It doesn't look like it's clogged, does it? No, I don't think so. Spick and span. I don't even see any water droplets down in there anywhere. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay, guys. I started messing around with the tube and come to find out that there was a slight little kink in the tube that was underneath, right behind by the carburetor. So I moved that around and the gasoline started flowing more. So maybe that's what was slowing everything down, I thought. I just took it out just now driving around. Me and Cody went down the block and went around across the street, drove around these blocks out in this neighborhood. And then on the way back, it started doing it again. We just barely got home. So, I don't know. I mean, it's got a half a tank of gas. I just checked the fuel flow. It's working all right. And what do you think it could be, Cody? What do you think?
Maybe these need to be oiled?
Maybe. That might be. But anyways, well, I'm going to throw this out to my subscribers and see what they have to say. Because this is just dumb. I've never had this kind of problem with an engine before. Never. So, yeah. Not the float. It's not the fuel flow. Not anymore. It's not I don't know. And it's fairly new engine. I bought it about 4 months ago, something like that, when we first moved into this place. All right, but I'm gonna get out of here. Bye bye.